In Nathan Fraser's bedroom, the reminders are everywhere.
He would always be in his, hockey gear, playing mini sticks all the time, watching hockey games. Everything was hockey to him.
But in February of 2012, the game that gave him so much nearly took everything away.
I was outside the rink in the warm area talking to some parents, and I looked up again and I saw a kid flat out on the ice, not moving.
During a practice, 11-year-old Nathan collided with a teammate. He hit his head hard on the boards and then on the ice. He lost consciousness for about 30 seconds.
He couldn't even stand up. He had to be carried into the dressing room.
It was Nathan's second concussion in 5 months. Symptoms from the first one disappeared after a few days. This time, they did not.
It was scary. He progressively got worse and worse and worse, to the point that we didn't know what to do with him or what was wrong with him. No one seemed to know.
Nathan had painful headaches and nausea, and he became hypersensitive to light and sound.
He constantly had to wear glasses in the house. We had to shut all the blinds, all the drapes, had to be totally darkness in here.
It's just like a throbbing pain. It was almost like a bullet to my head.
We had to disconnect the doorbell. He would just scream because the piercing sound was so bad.
Nathan was back and forth to hospital after his increasingly unusual symptoms worsened. He couldn't walk and he could barely talk. Letters and numbers and colors were unfamiliar to him.
He couldn't even count to 10. Everything just disappeared. Recognizing animals, what a cat says, what a dog says, what a cow says. He didn't know.
A week in hospital and a battery of tests ruled out other neurological disorders, but Nathan wasn't getting any better.
There were some points that we thought that he may never walk properly again, or he may never talk properly again. This could be permanent damage.
Cognitive deficits are quite common. Usually they're temporary, but when concussions are repetitive, we regard cognitive deficits as a very important signal that maybe that player should hang up their skates and never risk another concussion.
No roadmap to recovery exists for concussion victims. Every case is different. Patience is required above all else.
The truth of the matter is we really have zero treatment for concussion. Nothing has really been scientifically proven to be effective other than the passage of time and other than the initial period of rest.
Nathan began cognitive rehab and speech therapy, and progress was slow.
They were teaching him how to count, memory skills, and how to memorize things, and how to put things into categories because he would forget things.
He also started physiotherapy for his worst physical symptoms.
Some of the simplest balance tests he had trouble with, so we had to just get him practicing standing there with his feet together and his eyes open.
Eventually, Nathan turned a corner.
After every session, there was an improvement. You could see the mobility coming back, the coordination coming back.
One day when I was walking outside, my dad told me to jog, and I kind of just ran. That was kind of my turnaround day.
Nathan returned to school before the end of June and has since made a near full recovery. Only one symptom remains.
Anything that happened prior to February 12th, it's like a blank slate. It's non-existent. He doesn't remember.
Once in a while we'll get different albums, like this trip to Florida, ask some questions and see if there's anything here that would pop out in Nathan's mind. Is there anything at all? There was nothing, was there?
No.
8 months after the injury, Nathan was well enough to return to the ice by himself, but he's not likely to play in any games anytime soon. If he returns to play at all, it'll be non-contact hockey.
It pretty much ruined my hockey career.
It would be too scary, I think, for us to put our son at risk again after what happened.
You don't know if it'll happen again and if it'll be worse, where I might even have those symptoms permanently.
That's it. Perfect.
I just hope that we get the awareness so no other kids have to go through what I did.